sleep well? Why Portugal? Well, that's funny because I had never been in Portugal ever before. And I left my home country, the Netherlands, because I wanted to do things differently and live in a more harmonious way with nature. So suddenly Portugal came to me because I adopted a puppy from a shelter in Lisbon, Fausto. And I wanted to go visit where he was from. And suddenly everything started to fall into place. And I was like, oh, this project that I have in mind, Portugal is probably the place where I can do that. Well, when I arrived, I really wanted to start a test and demonstration ground of prototypes that accelerate the transition to a circular economy. So in the beginning, when I arrived, I built a temporary home before I was ready to really renovate all the schist ruins on the land. And that was a 2-story tree house, or I call it the bird house. And it was made with round wood from my own land, which are cherries and oaks here. And it's a plantation, so I wanted to thin it and make it into a mixed forest. It was a bit of an ongoing thing because for us it was more of a fire week where we already were for 7 days fighting the flames back over the ridges that came from the Vajau side. And that Sunday morning I received a phone call from friends up on that ridge there near Luades, above Luades, that again reignited fires. The flames were too big for them to handle and that really bombards had to come. So I started calling Koja first, obviously, then Arganil guys, and we received everywhere the same answer that all bombards were already busy and there was nobody there. But for a long time it looked that both fire fronts were pushed by the wind around us, around our village. And then it was already dark. I think the fire came around the corner of Drea. And then really quick it came here and set the first building on fire over there. And it was really hot and a lot of fire balls flying around because the tornado was blowing in our direction. So it was a lot of burning things flying around everywhere, and the hairs on your skin were even burning from just the air. So then when it became really hot and the fire started to come really close to the village, me and 7 others and the 4 dogs went in one of the basements. There were, I think, in the end 9 adults there and 11 dogs, but there were no windows and we couldn't really see what's going on outside, but we tried the best we could to prevent smoke inhalation, because that's what we learned from other fires, that can be a dangerous thing if you don't know for how long you're gonna be in there. So we closed all the gaps and tried to let the smoke not come in. And then the walls that are 70 centimeter schist walls, they became really incredibly hot and lots of noise outside, like hurricane noise. So that was only for me a bit of a scary moment because we couldn't see what was going on. I lost a bit of myself and I lost the birdhouse, all tools. I invested the first year and a half I came here about 80,000 euro in the first infrastructure, because I would love to run courses here about educational courses about permaculture and sustainable agriculture and the circular economy. So all of that was kind of in place, and that's the material side of it, I think. Well, it's a great opportunity for growth again, some really drastic experience I've never had to this extent. And I realized that right after the fire I stepped into some sort of warrior mode. I think the adrenaline was still in my body. I just was like started to rebuild and clean and roll up my sleeves, and I don't think it was very healthy, but it was a survival mode kind of thing. That's also funny after the fire, because it's really unbalanced, where one day I'm super positive and see tons of opportunities and inspiration and everything, and the next day you're just depressed about all the blackness around you. Really put my much energy in expectations from higher authorities, because I don't believe they act in our best interest. And now we see it painfully also happening, that it's just the normal people who do amazing work, who send foods and clothes, come help, volunteer. The international community is really reaching out as well. But so far from governmental higher up levels, there's nothing. Portugal put us in the hands of Europe. Europe doesn't really care, so yeah, that's for me more proof again than learning. So my project on the land is just one small beginning step, and we hope to collaborate with the whole community here on a bigger project that's about reforestation and local self-reliance and the relocalization of production. And for me, it's personally very important to attract young people back to rural areas, and a lot of people who live here have a similar idea about that, and we would love to take all aspects of human well-being, but in a mutual beneficial relationship with nature, not one where humans feel they can outsmart nature or where they feel they are superior over nature, because we are nature and we have an equal role to play, which sounds maybe funny, but yeah, we're not better or worse than that tree or that dog. So yeah, what was the question? I'm Lynn. I live in Cerdeira, Arganil, Portugal. I'm 35 years old.
Pensam que é um incêndio normal. O outro ando lá 4 semanas a arder, aqui isto em 4 horas derreteu o concelho e ninguém diz nada disto.